Hey guys!
It's Remee
And Shyla.
and welcome back to Inspired at UVic, a podcast for the students by the students.
Which is hosted by Inspire, STEM for Social Impact.
Hello, everybody. We have Tyler West from the UVic Innovation Centre with us today on the podcast. Tyler, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and what the UVic Innovation Centre is?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much for having me today. So, my name is Tyler West. I am the program coordinator at the Innovation Centre at UVic. And I've been working with the Innovation Centre since we launched back in 2016. And things have changed immensely since we launched, and we're offering a lot more programming and supports for entrepreneurs than we were at the beginning. So it's been a really exciting journey to get to where we are now. And so the Innovation Centre is UVic's startup incubator. So it's a place where entrepreneurs can go for support, resources, specialized programming, and it's to help them get their businesses off the ground and to try to make it as easy as possible for them. So the Innovation Centre supports all members of the UVic community and some entrepreneurs outside of the UVic community, depending on what their needs are. So within the UVic community, that's going to be students, staff, faculty, and alumni. But the majority of the entrepreneurs that we support are students, current students or alumni that are fairly recently graduated. And so we're industry agnostic. We're not working with any specific types of businesses. We've worked with not-for-profit, social ventures, small businesses, through to deep tech things. And we've supported entrepreneurs from every faculty at UVic. And we offer different mechanisms for support. So kind of our bread and butter is through our programming. So we have our launch program and our research to real world program. And so those are cohort-based semester-long programs. We run each of these each semester, so 3 intakes per year. And our launch program is open to anybody who's wanting to kind of explore entrepreneurship, learn the fundamentals of entrepreneurship, and the considerations you need to make when you're running a business. And our research to real-world program, that is for graduate students and postdocs who are looking to explore entrepreneurship. It's very early-stage programming. It's starting to look at your research through an entrepreneurial lens and what kind of problems your research could solve, how it could benefit society, that kind of thing. So that's our programmings. And we have competitions, which I'm really happy to talk about. We have one coming up soon in July 17th. That's our Pitch It competition. So we have a 90-second elevator pitch competition. Everyone is welcome to participate in that. If you apply, you're in, you get to present. We look at that one as a bit of a community building event. So come share your idea. We try to make it as comfortable an atmosphere as possible because for a lot of people, it's their very first time pitching an idea. We bring in a panel of judges to share feedback and guidance with the entrepreneurs. And we also have prizes. So for Pitch It, we have $2,000 per semester, at least $2,000 that we give out at the judge's discretion. And we also have our Planet competition coming up this summer. So that one's going to be on August 7th. And Planet's a little bit more intense. It's kind of more like a Dragon's Den style competition. So you do a slide deck presentation. It's about a 12-minute presentation. And there's a lot more money involved for that one. So we have about $8,000 that we give away for Planet each semester. So if you're interested in either of those competitions, you can learn more about them on our website, which is uvic.ca/innovation. It'll kind of give you the guidance on how to apply, what kind of things you need to consider for applying. And yeah, those are really exciting. I think there's more value in the feedback and connections you can make through the competitions than the award money in some cases. But yeah, they're great competitions.
Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that there would be that much money in those kind of competitions.
Yeah, and I feel like you get so much more out of entering the competition than just like the money. It's more like the experience and like even having to cut something down into a 90-second elevator pitch. We have had to do it before and it's not fun because like these massive idea projects are sometimes so complex and hard to
Yeah, exactly. Like you think, 90 seconds, like it'll be over before you know it. But when you have a lot to say and a lot of information to actually get out there, you could probably spend hours, days working on just talking for 90 seconds.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So yeah, it's trying to be as concise as possible while still presenting your message in a clear way. But it's an art. Pitching is absolutely an art, and it takes a lot of practice, and it's kind of an ever-evolving thing.
Do you have any like supports for the people that are like pitching? The mentors help with that kind of stuff with
with people externally or like?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have our mentor network. We have about 75 mentors that we work with that are able to provide one-on-one support in certain subject areas. And we also have executives and residents that are part of our team. So they work part-time with us. And they are there to really help with things like presenting your pitch, developing your strategy, working on execution of certain things, getting you ready for launch, that type of thing. But yeah, absolutely. If you're wanting to prepare for any of the competitions, just reach out to anyone on our team. We're very happy to meet with you, give you feedback on what you're doing, try to help you improve your pitch, maybe work on gaining some confidence presenting. Yeah, absolutely.
You mentioned previously it was called correct me if I'm wrong, the Launch Project Startup. How do students go about actually accessing that and kind of getting involved and getting started with that?
Sure, yeah. So anyone that is interested in any of our program, I would encourage them to reach out to me. You can find all of my contact information on our website or through our social media channels. We're on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook at UVic Innovation. For all of those, you can send me a DM. Or reach out by email. But usually our first step is that you would come meet with me or another member of our team. We kind of try to learn more about you, what you're working on, what your needs are, and then we kind of come up with a curated plan to best support you. And for a lot of people, that does mean going through our launch program. So again, we do 3 intakes per semester. So you can join our launch program. As I said, it's available to anybody. So if you are just exploring entrepreneurship or you've been working on a business that's been launched for a while, you're welcome to participate in the program and work on your idea while you are going through the program.
Cool. Does it count as like credits through UVic, or is it more just like a side kind of club that you're a part of, if that makes sense?
It's kind of like an extracurricular. So you don't get any academic credit for participating in the launch program or anything like that.
Okay. But you guys do have like a co-op program that people might be able to like enter throughout?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do support entrepreneurship co-ops. So what that looks like is you can take a full semester to work full time on your business or your idea or a technology that you're trying to develop and receive academic credit for it. So the first step, if you were interested in exploring that, is to talk to your co-op coordinator, and they would kind of give you the insight and guidance on what you need to do. Different faculties have some different mechanisms for how they want you to approach an entrepreneurship co-op, but then they kind of all filter you towards us, and we can onboard you again, meet with you, learn about what your specific needs are and how we can best provide support to you. But we can act as a mentor. All entrepreneurship co-ops do require a mentor, so we can be your mentor for the term. And we do encourage everyone that is doing an co-op to go through the launch program, just so you are getting that framework. You're kind of learning all the fundamentals and considerations that need to be made at an early stage of running a business. And the things we talk about in launch, we go through, considerations to make, such as like, what are your values? What are your strengths and weaknesses? How can you incorporate that into your business? What are things you can outsource through to, time management? And then we bring in subject matter experts or guest speakers to give presentations on their areas of expertise. So we have like an IP lawyer come in and talk about IP considerations and the things you need to know about the different options that are available, how you can protect your ideas or innovations, accountants that can talk about, bookkeeping, the things that you need to know if you are going to be running a business, how to file your taxes. We just had an awesome session this past week with a digital marketer who gave everyone some incredible tools and resources to work with to develop, strategies around marketing and how to actually like build an ad, get your idea out to the right people. So we do have a number of guests that come in to speak and share their expertise. You can ask them questions about your specific business. So in some instances, you're getting in front of people who charge, like $500 an hour to talk to them, but you can ask them a question about your business. And many of them are very open to connecting after the fact. So you can follow up with them, keep working with them. So it's a really wonderful way to make connections and learn all while you're going through the program. And it has a lot of, it's a good accountability piece. So while you're going through the program, we kind of are expecting you to do certain things. You build out a plan with milestones and goals that you're hoping to achieve over the course of the semester. And we try to help you keep on track.
I feel like that's a big thing, especially for somebody maybe entering a co-op with nobody else and just on their own. Does that happen often, or is it usually a team of?
Yeah, so for a lot of people, they're doing it all on their own, and it can be tough to do something on your own and to get the motivation to continue working on something. And it's, entrepreneurship can be really challenging. It can be a lot harder than people expect, and it is nice to have a community or people there that care and want to help keep you on track and kind of understand what it's like to go through entrepreneurship. So yeah, it can be really difficult to focus, especially like during the summer when, it's more fun to maybe go to the beach than it is to reach out and do some cold calling or something like that. So we do try to provide tools and tips and resources to stay on track, to prioritize what's really important, to do the work that actually like moves the needle on making your business successful instead of like busy work or other things. So we do try to provide the framework and the support to have people kind of figure out how they can best do it on their own.
I feel like the mentors that you mentioned before definitely help kind of create that environment, like that collaborative environment. What kind of mentors are involved with the UVic Innovation Centre?
Sure. So they come from really diverse backgrounds. So there are people that are, specialists in certain areas. So there's lawyers, there's accountants, like I mentioned before. The executives and residents that we work with come from like really diverse backgrounds. They've worked in different industries for a number of years. We have one that's kind of more from a marketing background. We have someone who's more from a technical background. We have someone that's more from like a clean tech background. So they all come from different backgrounds and bring in a wealth of experience to be able to support individual entrepreneurs on what they're working with. So we've worked with many, many different kinds of ventures, and they all have individual needs. So it is a bit of trying to, pair them up with the people who might be able to provide the most, the support that makes the most sense for them.
Yeah, that sounds actually quite similar to like I think maybe the Inspire program's framework was inspired by like the UVic. I'm not sure, because it's very similar, I think, with the mentors and like the help and like staying on track, like, and having all these tools like presentations and everything to keep you on track. So it sounds quite similar to like, I think our experience with, basically we were running small startups with Inspire, which was.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah. Like I'm seeing a lot of overlap between the two programs, which is kind of cool. Could you tell us about a couple projects that you have on the go right now at the UVic Innovation Centre?
Yeah, absolutely. So one thing that we just launched this semester that's really exciting is the UVic IP Clinic. So that is in collaboration with the business school, so the Gustafson School of Business. And we have just launched an IP clinic. So what that means is that anyone from the UVic community can go and talk to our IP clinic coordinator. Her name is Lindsay, about options for IP. So if they are working on anything and they think it might have the potential to be protected in some way, she can talk about what that looks like, what a trademark is, what a patent is, when it's appropriate to go after which, the considerations you need to do to make if you're going to protect what you are working on. And we, as part of that, also are working with a practicing lawyer who can actually do the work. So if you are looking to file something, they can help you do the work for that. So we just launched that back in May, and it's been going really well. So if you do want to, if you're interested in IP or what your options are, you can reach out to Lindsay at ipclinic@uvic.ca, and she's very happy to meet with you. And this is really an endeavorment to make IP support really accessible. So it's either no cost or very low cost in order to do any of this work. So if anyone is interested, I'd really encourage you to reach out. And we also have an exciting event coming up in mid-July. It's a growth capital session. So for anybody who is running a business and is considering bringing on some kind of funding, whatever that might look like, we are bringing in 5 guest speakers to talk about their experiences with funding. So we're having a venture capitalist, an angel investor, entrepreneurs, someone from a loan program to talk about what the options are, what they mean for your business, what kind of funding you can expect from different partners. So that's coming up on July 16th.
Okay. I really like that IP support one, because I feel like, especially as like engineers, we are creating a lot of stuff within our classes and don't necessarily know what would be our IP versus the university's IP with that. So I think that like, honestly, like I had a course that talked about IP, but I'm in my like 4th, 5th year. So and that was the first time that it was mentioned. So I think that like every student could probably use some IP support, because we are discovering so many things in university and trying new things that are very creative, and you don't really know what's yours and what's the university's.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'd recommend that anyone who is curious about that or just has any questions, please reach out to either myself or to Lindsay, the IP clinic coordinator, because we'd be very happy to talk to you about what that looks like.
Are there any kind of extra resources that you can think of that the UVic Innovation Centre offers for students that you think might be tough to get elsewhere?
All stages of entrepreneurship can be really challenging, especially if you don't really know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So that's something that we try to help everyone with, is to ask kind of tough questions that maybe you haven't considered yet, just to get an idea of what you know and what's within your network already, what kind of resources that you can tap into. And then we try to fill in the gaps. So that might be working with mentors, securing time within EIR. We offer prototype funding, which you're not necessarily going to be able to get non-dilutive funding to help support your venture just from anywhere. So we do have a little bucket of funds, and we can help provide funding for entrepreneurs to get over some kind of financial hump. So whether that might be like incorporating or filing your taxes or getting some marketing materials developed, we do have funds available. So that is there. We also have some free co-working space that is located in Saanich. So if you are looking for an office or even just like a hot desk to work out of, that is something that we offer within our services. So again, office space is really, really expensive in Victoria. If you were looking for a place to rent, you're in thousands of dollars a month, but this is free. So that's kind of a cool resource. We also know about a lot of different funding opportunities, grants, that kind of thing that you may not be aware of. So there's a number of opportunities for, support around hiring people, IP support. So yeah, just come and chat with us if you have any questions or there's any gaps or anything like that. And yeah, I just also want to flag that while you're a student, it's a wonderful time to try out entrepreneurship. It's a relatively low risk time in your life to give something like this a shot. And there's so many resources available to student entrepreneurs that are not necessarily available when you graduate, that are very, very worth taking advantage of. So yeah, if anyone is at all interested in giving it a shot, I strongly encourage you to give it a try.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a super big strength with the Innovation Centre at UVic, with you having seen so many people go through it, that you can use other people's experiences to help the next generation of entrepreneurs, which I think is really important. And somewhere it's like a collective where you've basically probably seen it all at this point. So it sounds like a great resource for anybody that's looking to go into entrepreneurship and doesn't really know where to start.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'd love to talk to anybody who is interested, whether they have an idea they're working on or not, even if they're just interested. And like you just said, one of our things that we're really proud of that we built is a community of entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs that have gone through our program, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, that now are running companies, and they're reaching out to provide mentorship to the, younger, more aspiring entrepreneurs that we are currently supporting. So it's kind of like this cycle of awesome. So it's been really cool.
We have the Pitch It competition on July 17th, if I'm right.
Yes.
And then
our growth capital sessions coming up on July 16th.
Okay, perfect. And so those are the 2 sessions that are coming up in the next month that people could get involved with?
Yeah. And then we will have a business plan competition. So our Planet competition's coming up on August 7th.
Thank you so much for coming on. That was awesome. A good little overview of the UVic Innovation Centre.
All right, thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
And from the Inspire team to you guys,
have a great day.
Bye everyone.